What's going on here? Wheels shouldn't look like that. Oh, I see the problem. Another Ride On Mower video. Well, that's not a problem. Not for busy Troy. Another project on the mower again. As you can see, the steering arm has come off from one of the wheels. Now, I'm just going to take it all off and then explain it in the shed where it's not so windy. Got the steering rod off, and the deal is this. By the looks of it, these are made. They grind a little flat spot on here, they drill a hole, they put the ball joint in, and then they use some kind of hydraulic compressor which then pushes the two sides of the ball joint to then stop this from coming out. Well, that is worn out, so I need to be able to keep this in. So my idea is I'm going to look for a large washer that is tight enough to go over this. I can cut it in half, put the two halves together, and then weld it on top of this, and then that will stop the ball joint from coming out. Hence, I don't have to buy a whole new one of these when it's just that, because the same thing is going to happen obviously over time. This end has got a rubber connection on it which is helping, but most of the pressure is not at the steering end, which actually joins to the steering column. It's where it joins the actual front for the front wheel. So let's have a look, see how I can go. That looks like it'll work. It looks about the right hole size. Get the verniers and we'll check it. The washer that I just happen to have is an 11mm hole in the middle, which is going to be perfect for this. The actual smallest point on this ball joint is 7mm, and the 11mm comes well and truly under on the inside of the ball joint, so it's going to be spot on. So cut it in half and then we'll get it welded on and see if my theory works. So that's just tacked on. So we'll turn it upside down and then do the underneath. I am by means definitely not the world's best welder, but it does the job. Just gotta let it cool down. Well, it's done. It's pretty messy, but I'm just going to give it a brush, clean it up, just do a little bit of grinding just to neaten it up. But it's in, and it's definitely not coming out. Sprayed a little bit of WD-40 in it. Probably should actually weld two halves together, just a little bit. And then that would be it. Give it a quick paint, put it back on the mower. Now have a look at that. I think that is just an absolutely superb job. It's definitely saved some dollars and just fun in doing the project itself. Right, time to put it back on. And that means removing the wire that I had in place to hold it in place in the first place. That's too many places. Anyway, under the mower, take the nuts and the spring washer off. Now let me tell you, this part wasn't enjoyable at all. It was a tight place to get them out of in the first place, and it was a tight place obviously to get them back in. But the most important thing when you're doing these kinds of jobs is perseverance. Patience will pay off. Getting the fingers in place was hard enough. Then lining up the threaded stud so that the nut would line up and wind on. Out come the tools, and then again, patience, because it was just too tight a spot to get your fingers in there. As you can see, the width of that head was only just the same width as the spanner. Anyway, that part's now back on. Around to the front of the mower. This was obviously a lot easier. Washer, nut, screw it on, using a 14mm spanner on the top. I think it was a 12mm spanner maybe underneath, or a 13. Make sure it's tight enough, and then let's give it a go. Well, it's the moment of truth. I bolted it back on, now it's going to jump on and see that it holds, because I'm sure it will, but you got to test these things, don't you? Alright, moment of truth, let's test it out. And it's not working. We pulled this out to move it, so now we're going to lock it back in place. Try again. Let's go. Yep, now is as good a time as any to hit that subscribe button. Hit the like, leave a comment. I'd really appreciate it. I want to make a difference to me and my family, and that's where you come in. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. See you again on the next one. Well, it's hanging on a stack more than what it was before. It's not coming off, and I certainly don't think it's going to come off. So probably a bit warm in the day now to be doing any mowing. So I'll just put it under the shade of the tree, and there you go, another project done.